All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So happy new year on the other side as we made it. Hard to imagine after last year that we have to do this again, but we're going to have another new year, folks, and it's going to be a doozy. Ted Nugent is blasting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What a shocker. But Ted says something pretty profound here. Why isn't a band like Triumph? I love him talking about Triumph. Nobody talks about Triumph. He says, why aren't they in there? But Grandmaster Flash is. He goes, that's just dishonest. He goes, why are Patti Smythe, ABBA, and Madonna in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but not Styx? He says, are you kidding me? I think he meant to say Patti Smith here. I don't think Patti Smythe is in the Hall of Fame. I'll have to check that. But Patti Smith is because the night, remember Patti Smith, like the one-hit wonder who didn't like to shave certain parts of her anatomy. And that is considered really cool, according to people at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So he goes on to say, you can only explain that the people who make those decisions are just plain rotten. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should genuflect to Chuck Berry, Bo Diddley, Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, the Motown Funk Brothers. Are you kidding me? How dare you put Grandmaster Flash, ABBA, and Madonna in that? Now, I think ABBA is really talented, and you could make an argument, maybe not for their presence in the Hall of Fame, but the Pop Music Hall of Fame, something like that. That's why you do need some categories here. All right. Society, keep in mind too, society has been resegregating people in the last 5 years or so. Like this group, you're over here, this group over there. This other group shouldn't affiliate with this group anymore. I'm not going to get into the politics of that, but it is strange because I grew up as a kid in the 1970s and we didn't have that problem. So it's weird how that problem has come back thanks to the folks in the mainstream news and so-called academics who think they're smart, but what they are people who apparently just don't like themselves. That's what I've realized. Nugent goes on to say, I'm not angry that I'm not in there because I'm having so much fun that it's stupid. All right. This is the super sober Ted Nugent over his entire career. Look, I'm not going to apologize for the stuff. I know Ted did some crazy stuff in the 70s, but he didn't do any drugs. And I don't think he drinks alcohol. And I don't think that endears you to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He says, my music is a flamethrower of fun, positive energy, and piss and vinegar. Like I said, I'd like to get Nugent and David Lee Roth in a room and have them just talk. But honestly, when you listen to Nuge, he's a little more interesting, I think, than David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth will tell a story that I'm not even sure he was in, but yet he'll tell the story. And at the end of it, you'll go, okay, that just wasted 10 minutes of my life. Whereas Nugent will tell a story or put a few lines together like this, and you get a lot out of it. And you don't really have to cogitate too much. You just absorb the full frontal Nuge, as he likes to say. All right. I'm sorry, folks. I think I had the Dodge Omni. So I'm recovering now. As you could see, I'm still above ground. I know that might disappoint a couple of people who are hoping for my demise, but it's just a Dodge Omni, people. It's the common car. Okay. It's the common car. So this comment here, he says, you want to know how to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? You get high with the board, meaning the board of directors, meaning the chairman, meaning the people that make the decisions. You get high with them, and that's how you get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh, I think that's what I needed for the new year, is to start off with that story featuring the one and only Ted Nugent. Look, the Nugent debut album, the one on Epic Records, Stranglehold, I mean, come on, people. As the president of the United States would say, come on, man. I mean, that album is just off the hook, off the chain. And there are a few other moments during Nugent's career, particularly when he was with the damn Yankees. But he's just been a great source of fun and energy and vocabulary. And you just got to love the Nuge, right? So that's my video on Ted Nugent, and figured I'd ring in the new year with something that was a bit comical and true all at the same time. Another year of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame snubbing the most obvious choices. And he made a few suggestions to the Hall of Fame that, of course, they haven't taken very seriously. But we'll see. Maybe they'll turn over a new leaf. Or maybe there won't be a Hall of Fame because, it'll all get canceled, right? In any event, sorry for the backing here with the lights. We're having some technical difficulties this morning, so I'm running on just what I have here. And I want to thank everybody for watching, for tuning in, and for being part of another year of this channel as we head toward 50K, which would be huge, would just be fantastic. And of course, need to thank all of the subscribers, all the patrons. Patrons are very good people. They're very persistent patrons. If they have information, they share it. So I appreciate all the intel I get from those people who are scouring the internet along with yours truly, and oftentimes finding things that are far more interesting than even this great article with Ted Nugent. So there you have it, folks. Thanks, and we'll talk again very soon.